Hello, welcome back to my channel. Vanakkam. So today this video will be entirely in English, okay? And that is because it is going to be a video about UPSC preparation. And if you are a UPSC aspirant, then it is assumed that you are familiar with English and that you can understand it easily and converse fluently as well. So moving on, I want to give a couple of disclaimers to begin with, because so that if that is what you're looking for from this video, then you can not waste your time and you can leave right now. I'm not going to be giving you book lists because that is pointless. The syllabus keeps changing every year and book lists are available like in so many sources. I don't have to tell you what is the right book to study. And secondly, this video, like, it's gonna be a mix of the mindset part and also the actual preparation. So a lot of you have been asking me about my specific UPSC preparation journey, and I do not know if that will add any value. However, I'll very briefly go through it. I started preparing after my son was born, and when he was 6 months old exactly. And then I was not living in India at the time, so I had no coaching, no access to coaching really. So I had the books couriered to me. I had all the books actually transported to the country I was in, and then I was studying from there. So when I was studying, I also took care of my baby and my household chores. So that, as you know, is like a full-time job in itself, right? So what I'm trying to say is that even if you don't have access to coaching, even if you do have other commitments which take up a lot of your time, if you are sincere about preparation, you can still do it. It is very much doable. I want to address the mindset aspect of it first. A couple of you talked about having self-doubt or lack of confidence, either even before starting preparing or like after giving a couple of attempts, you feel like you didn't get through prelims or maybe mains, and then you feel like very disappointed, and whether you really want to do it, you feel unsure about yourself. So what I would like to tell you is, do not doubt yourself. Like, you are all you have. If you are going to doubt yourself, then what do you have? It is the most pointless thing we can do if you don't have confidence in yourself. Of course, you tried something, it may not have worked out, but so what? So what? It doesn't matter. We cannot always ensure that everything will work out the way we expect it to be. Sometimes it takes some people a little bit more time. There is a luck factor, and there is definitely some phases, some lacunae in preparation which may have made us lose a couple of times. I know people who have cleared UPSC exam after like 7 attempts. So it is not as if a couple of attempts are earth-shattering. It is okay, but what you need to do if you are in that stage is that you really need to look where exactly you are falling behind and address those lacunae. Don't go doing the same thing again and again every year and expect a different result. Whatever you have been doing, it's not working. So now you know what doesn't work. So you can change your strategy and figure out how to spend more time on the things that you're weak at and prepare those better. And if you are having doubts before you even start preparing, sometimes the reason is that the syllabus looks very vast, right? And then you may feel like you may hear people tell like, I've been preparing till last day or whatever, and you may feel overwhelmed with all of that. There is no need to get overwhelmed. You and I, we are all average normal human beings with average normal intelligence, and if 150 odd 150 180 200 people can clear this exam and become IAS officers every year, it is very much a doable thing. It is not something like exclusive or reserved for a privileged few. So it is very much a doable thing. So how do we make it a doable thing? I will tell you, it is not a matter of intelligence, it is not a matter of resources, it is not a matter of talent, it is purely a matter of grit. It is about consistency and discipline. Even if you don't have anything else, if you have this, if you have consistency and discipline and the ability to do hard work every single day until you reach your goal, if you're able to consistently put in that work 1 year, maybe 2 years even or more, then you are guaranteed to succeed. but then the discipline and consistency should be there. This is not like a college exam where you can ace it at the very last moment by just brushing up a few things. This is something that requires actual consistent effort over a longer period of time. So you need to be very clear that you are writing this exam for yourself, and do not start or get into the whole thing of I don't have people to support me. No, if people don't pass UPSC exam because of people supporting them or not supporting them. People pass UPSC exam because they sit down and do the hard work every single day for a prolonged period of time. So forget about who is there rooting for you, who is there not rooting for you, whether people are accepting of you or not. Do you have the dream? Do you really want to do this? Then you do it. Do it unapologetically. Do not wait for approval or permission or for everybody to come and tell you, yes, this is the right path to do. No. If you want it, you go ahead and do it. Nobody is going to come and tell you that this is what you need to do. It is up to you to decide. But if you are deciding, then be very, very clear that it is going to be hard work, and it is going to be a long-term hard work. And for that, you will need to make some sacrifices. This is a ground reality. Everybody whom I know who have cleared this exam, they have invested a certain amount of their life into it. They have given a long period of dedicated effort into making sure that they clear this exam. So you need to do that as well. There is no shortcut to it. So if you have that mindset, if you are willing to find the time, and do not expect that everybody around you will adjust their schedule so that you can sit and study. You have to find time in your own schedule, around your work or around your family life or whatever, or around your other studies, whatever it is your situation is. You need to find time in between all of that in order to study. And if you are lucky enough to be having this dedicated time to just prepare, if you are just sitting and doing nothing but UPSC preparation for a year, if you are one of the fortunate few, then of course that is a huge advantage, and that by all means really adds a lot of time to your schedule, and that will help you. But I am not saying that this is only for those who can prepare exclusively. I did not prepare exclusively. I had my baby to take care of. It was still okay. People can still do it as long as they have a plan and they stick to it. Which brings me to the preparation part. Now for preparation, the most important resource that you are going to have is the UPSC website. That is where you have the syllabus, and that syllabus is going to be your Bible. You need to download it, print it if you are into that, or keep a digital copy, whatever, or you can print it and tick off. So you need to learn every single word, every single topic in that syllabus. You need to know it thoroughly enough to write an essay on it. Like, you need to know it in depth. And every time you learn a topic, you can tick it off. That is how you need to cover the entire thing. You can't, it is not like college exams where you can be like, this is an important topic, this is not so important, so I will study this, I will not study that. No, you need to be equally good at all of that. In addition to that, you also need to know your current affairs. For that, you will be depending on regular daily newspaper reading, and also some magazines or some digest which will give you a brief weekly or monthly overview of everything that happened, along with some opinion pieces. And also a lot of people read some kind of an economic weekly or daily paper or magazine as well, in order to get into that side, especially if you don't have a background in that. So you need to have your daily access to newspaper. When I was studying, when I was abroad, I did not have a Hindu newspaper with me, since I was not in India. That newspaper was not available where I lived. So I used the online version of it. I used to read the daily, the online, I used to go to their website and read the news online every day. So there is really no excuse to say that we don't have resources. We always have resources. We can access these resources, and in today's world especially, I do not know how people can in their right conscience tell things like, I don't have access to resources. Knowledge is there at our fingertips, and that is the biggest resource. And there are libraries, good libraries, where you can go and get the standard books. You can get them photocopied if you cannot if you cannot buy them outright. You need to, for each topic, you need to find a standard book. A single book may not cover the entire syllabus. You may need 2 books for it. but you will know only once you have the entire syllabus down, and then you need to go through the book to find out which topics are covered in depth in these books. There are also resources online which will tell you which topics are covered in which books, but I would suggest that you please go ahead and do this homework yourself so that you're familiar with the book. And if the same topic is covered in multiple books, you can go read each of the books. Some of the books, the narration style will suit you very well and you'll be able to pick it up real quickly, and some of the books will feel very dry and very difficult for you to understand. So don't use those books. We are trying to make things easy for us. We are not trying to do this in a hard way. We are trying to do it in the easiest possible way. So we need to get all these books ready, all of our resources ready. And then when it comes to actual preparation, so for prelims you have the CSAT and general paper, right? CSAT, I personally decided to come into UPSC because of CSAT, because when I saw that CSAT was being introduced in that year, I found that those were things that actually I'm good at, and I knew that I could really ace that. So I spent literally like 2 weeks preparing for CSAT just before the prelims. That's it. But I would not recommend this for anybody unless they are really high level confident with their CSAT. If that is not your strong suit, then reserve this small time of preparation for whatever is the thing that you're strong at, and use more time for CSAT. So the way we should structure our studies is that if you know you're good at something, then give it lesser time to prepare, right? Prepare thoroughly, because you already have a strong foundation. If you don't have a strong foundation, then of course you're going to have to spend more time going through each and every one of it. So allot more time accordingly. Since I was in a time crunch, and even if you are not in a time crunch, probably what you need to do is that you need to have a timetable. And the way I prepared my timetable was that I allowed for multiple revisions before prelims, multiple revisions before mains, and just one overview before interview. So for that, how I structured my time was that I figured out this is when I should start my last revision, this is when I should start my penultimate revision, and this is when I should be studying. And from there, I broke it down into month-wise and week-wise and day-wise schedules. I had actual every day these portions are to be cleared, entire schedule for the entirety of the preparation. And I used to make sure whether I ate or I slept or I did anything else in my life, I used to make 100% sure that whatever was in my timetable for the day was ticked off. That is the discipline I'm talking about. If you are going to make a plan, you better stick to it. There is no shortcut to that. You can't make a plan and then keep altering it. Of course, I understand that if you're really severely ill or some emergency happens, then you may have to forgo a day's work, and then you may have to adjust it on other days. But at least by the end of the week, your entire thing should still be covered, and in the week's portions, whatever you studied for the week should be revised once at the end of the week. So you need to make sure that if you are missing out on the plan at some point, you need to account for it elsewhere. So you will probably have to cut down on your socializing time and your sleep, but you still try to eat healthy, and whatever you are losing, wherever, you still try to take care of your health. You can cut down on all your distractions, all the things which are not contributing to this, and make sure that all of your focus is in one goal, because this is a very crucial period of time. If you are going to prepare for any competitive exam seriously, specifically UPSC, then you need to be taking it as kind of like a tapas that we say, like you sit there and you pray to God, right? So you consider it like that, and you consider it as an offering to God, or you consider it as a rite of passage, as a passage of discipline. Make sure you are there day in and day out, and you are doing nothing but preparing, and this preparation has to follow your plan, and your plan has to account for every topic in the syllabus for prelims and for mains. This is a must. You can't get over that. Another thing is, get your past question papers, see how UPSC have been asking questions, what is the general question pattern, and then try to get as many of those questions done as you can. For prelims, if you answer multiple times, then you will get to know how to answer them properly, how to be more fast with your answers. Same applies to mains as well. You need to stick to a time and space limit, right? So you practice writing those answers. For a lot of us, writing doesn't come naturally, especially once we are like out of college, long time after college, then it becomes difficult for us to write. So writing practice helps. If you don't have time for that, you will need to at least make sure towards the time closer to mains you get in some writing practice, because that is very essential, and you need to structure your answers properly. A lot of the times what I have found helpful is that referencing articles of constitution in your answers, that helps. It helped me. And some colleagues have found that diagrams have helped them, like short diagrams, and if they are really short of time and didn't have time to elaborate, writing everything in bullet points was also something that some of the successful candidates have done. So whatever works for you. So answering is another thing. I did attend mock interviews, so attend mock interviews and mock tests, and they will help groom you. They'll help tell you like what you're doing right and what you're not doing right, so that will all help into your preparation. And for the interview part, most of you may be giving your interview in English, so get familiar with the language. Try to talk in English, and if you don't have anybody to talk to in English, I would highly suggest that you start thinking in English. That is one way to become familiar with the words and to start being able to talk fluently. If you are going to think everything in your mother language and then translate it and then convey, it is going to be a harder task once you are in front of the interview board. And do not consider interview as like some kind of pressure, terror kind of situation. No, it is just consider that as a bunch of people who are going to help you cross over and get into the climb over the final hurdle. So think in those terms. And there may be pressure tests. People might be giving you a little bit of attitude during the interview, but take it peacefully. They're just trying to see whether you can still remain calm in face of pressure or conflict. So still take it pleasantly, remain calm throughout, and if you don't know something, there is nothing wrong in saying that I do not know it at the moment, but I will look it up. There is nothing wrong in that. As long as you come across as calm and poised and confident, your interview should not be a problem for you. Make sure your biodata, you know everything that is in your biodata and everything related to the place where you are from, to your educational background, to your career, whatever you have done in your social work or whatever voluntary work or hobbies that you have. Be prepared in that, and then you'll be able to ace your interview as well. The bulk of your hard work should come before that, in your written examination, and obviously in clearing the prelims in the first instance. So you make sure that those things are done, and then prepare for the interview with a calm mind. Make sure that you're well read on the current affairs of the day of the interview as well, and it should be good for you. Above all, to wind up this, since we don't have a lot of time and I cannot possibly cover everything about UPSC preparation in like 15-20 minutes, so I just want to end it with a few words about mindset again. This exam, it is like any other goal that you'll have in life. It is something worth working towards. It is something that will change your life, and it is something that will reward you purely based on your merit. It does not matter what situation you come from, what is your educational background. Make sure that you put in the work. If your language is not strong, work on a strong language. If your current affairs is not strong, work on your current affairs. Whatever is your weak subject, make sure that you become strong in that, and whatever you are strong at, make sure you ace that. That is how you're going to really stand out. I would advise against just randomly learning any coaching notes or anything by heart. I would always advise you to make your own notes. Since in my preparation, my time is a huge constraint, I did not really have time to make any kind of detailed notes because of my particular individual situation. But for most people, making notes is a great habit, and it will help them revise. I used the same textbooks with small notes on the margins to revise, but I would not advise people to do that. I would still suggest that it would be good if you could have comprehensive notes of current affairs and whatever topics you're studying, especially quick one-page notes for revision just before interview and things like that. And mindset wise, do not be afraid of it. Consider it as an opportunity. Do not look at statistics or numbers or how many people are failing. All you need is one seat, and it will come to you. You're one person and there is a seat for you. So do not be discouraged. Do not consume negative content or listen to anybody who may not be the most encouraging of you. That is okay. That happens to you, that happens to me, that happens to everybody. There is nobody who goes into service who is like surrounded by infinite positivity and infinite support from everybody. That is not how it works. It is okay to have some naysayers around you. Do not listen to them. If you don't have anybody positive in your life to support you, then look up some forums or where you will find a lot of supportive people who are working towards the same goals. And make sure your mindset is positive, and the most important thing is that you should put in the hard work. This is entirely on you. And if you are coming in to do it with the discipline, do it with 100% sincerity, and it will reward you. Whatever are your weaknesses, make sure you work on that. And if you attempt once and you don't get through, go back and see what you did wrong and make sure you improve upon that, so that in the next attempt you can be successful. Always keep faith in yourself. Do not doubt yourself one bit. You are the person who is with you all the time through all your ups and low downs. Be very, very kind to yourself. Be good to yourself. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your academic background is, what your financial background is, what your social background is. None of that matters. All that matters is whether you are willing to work hard and whether you are willing to be disciplined for a consistent, significant period of time. And if you are willing to put in that work, I'm 100% sure that you will be successful. So all the very best. Thank you for listening in. Bye bye.